welcome into Tiger Talk, presented to you by Cordova Lanes, Shooter Sports Bar, and Mama Ani's Grill. I'm your host, Kate Thomas, and this is Tiger Talk, presented by Cordova Lanes. We've got Greg Heck in the building.
Good morning.
Good
Kate.
morning, Greg. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's not so cold out today, so it was nice to come into a nice sunny day outside for once this week.
I like a little bit of the crisp weather. I'm going to say that. And it's because it's the holidays. It feels a little bit, it doesn't have to be super cold now because I actually have not, I don't have a winter wardrobe really or much of
You
one
don't need to have
currently.
one
You
down
don't,
here.
you really don't need to
Yes.
have one in Florida. That's the beauty of it. But yeah, it's what we have had is just beautiful weather really the past several days, which has been great.
Yes. Growing up in central New York, when it does come to this time of year, snow is the one thing that I do miss. Not shoveling it, but being able to enjoy it.
But it has to be like the nice powdery white
Yes.
fluffy snow. It can't be the one that's like melting and kind of gross
No.
and then you slip on it. That's
Right.
the snow that's not fun.
No, not at all.
I had my first white Christmas last year when we went up to Columbus, Ohio to visit some family, and it was negative 10 degrees.
Mhm.
So that was great. And it really only the third time I had ever seen snow. So if you're just joining us, just having some small talk, but this is Tiger Talk. It's presented to you by Cordova Lanes. Inside of Cordova Lanes is Shooter Sports Bar. They also have Mama Ani's Grill. We've got Greg Heck. He is the bar manager of Shooter Sports Bar, but he's also an all-time Pro Bowler. He can't even count. He doesn't even know how many 300s he's bowled, which is great. But I told him, and I have challenged him to a bowling game.
You know, it's funny about that. You challenged me that Friday, and then I went on town the next day, and my first game was 300. So I thought of you immediately after I did that. So
Well, when you lose, you can
I will take it.
then take that moment.
I will take the loss, and like
be
a man,
humble.
I will be humble. I'm humble most of the time, anyways. But yes, of course I
I know
would.
he
but
is. He's definitely humble. I'm just messing. This is me with my sad dad jokes today.
that's okay. I'm just pick a date, and we'll make it happen.
All right, and we'll stream it live. We're gonna stream this
Oh,
live when
gosh.
we have this bowling match between Greg and I. Anyways, you check out Cordova Lanes. It really is a great place, great staff. It is the home of fun. It's so much fun, especially during the holidays, and it's a good place to take you and your family right now while everyone's in town visiting. So make sure to check it out. So it really, truly is a lot of fun. Great atmosphere. You just feel very welcome when you go in there. If you want to join in and join the conversation today, you can. Give us a call, 850-623-1330. Again, that's 850-623-1330 to join in on the conversation. We'll probably do some sort of trivia today, so we'll try to make it easier than last week's, which was quite difficult.
It was difficult.
It was
last
difficult.
week.
Also, catch us live, a live video stream right now on Facebook, ESPN Pensacola, and also on our YouTube, ESPN Pensacola 1330. Okay, so you mentioned bowl games, Greg, and there was one we just had recently. You said you didn't want to talk about it.
No, it was my hometown. They didn't show up. They had a lot of people out, and we'll just say it was 45-0, and it was not entertaining at all. So hopefully all these games that are coming up will be much more entertaining than the game last night.
Well, hopefully. It looks like the next game that we have is tonight, the Gasparilla Bowl, and that's got Georgia Tech and UCF in it. Any particular favorite that you have for that one down in Tampa this evening?
UCF it would be who I'd pull for. Gus Malzahn's actually done a really good job with that team, kind of getting that program back. Not to where they were a few years ago when they went undefeated, but I watched a few games of them this year, and they've been competitive at least.
Yeah, not to back when they it was 2017 when they were co-national champions. Is what
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed,
Yes.
and that's what I saw a scenario where, and I don't know, someone tweeted this or X'd it out or whatever, and it basically was like FSU has the chance to be co-national championship if all of these things happen, and this is what happens. It has to happen for this person's scenario to play out. FSU to beat Georgia in the Orange Bowl, Alabama to beat Michigan, Texas to beat Washington, and then Alabama to beat Texas,
Lots
and
of
then
ifs.
Alabama and FSU they said would then be co-national champions.
Lots of ifs.
I
Yes.
don't even think that's a thing, but they said they're in this uh, in what I read based off this one person, and again, I didn't fully dive into like I'm not sure how resourceful this is and
Hmm.
how true it is, but they did say there is some kind of something in the NCAA. I'll have to find it on my phone. It's called like the Collie law, or the I don't know. I'll look it up. We'll
Yeah, I've
find
never
out.
even heard of it.
We'll find out what it is for you. But if you want to join in, who do you think are is going to really show out in some of these bowl games we have? Saturday, Birmingham Bowl. You've got Troy and Duke. That's will be a pretty decent game, possibly. Duke's going to win it, in my opinion, really.
Troy had a great year, though.
But Troy did have a good year, and they can sneak up on schools just like that one year they snuck up on LSU at home for LSU's homecoming game. While I was a student, I will never
Let's not bring up bad memories.
ever forget. That is a terrible memory for a lot of LSU Tiger fans. Also, we've got the Camellia Bowl. That's got Arkansas State and Northern Illinois. That's tomorrow as well. They've got all kind of bowls. Armed Forces Bowl, Air Force, and James Madison. That might be a pretty good one.
James Madison had a great year.
They had a great year.
And they actually petitioned to get in, or was it at Old Dominion that had one team was undefeated and they weren't allowed because it was their first year moving up to Division 1A.
Is it Liberty or James?
No, Liberty.
No, they're
Liberty
not-
already. Yeah,
it
I'm
might
not
be
sure.
James
It might have
Madison.
been James Madison.
This is what we need. Anyone out there, go ahead and get all your devices. I try to have all the information that I can. There's
It's hard to
tons
have
of
all the
stuff that's
information.
going on in sports.
Yes.
But yeah, a lot of bowl games on Saturday. Goodness gracious! So we just said the Armed Forces Bowl, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise, Idaho. You got Georgia State and Utah State. I haven't really seen either one of them play too much.
Me neither.
Okay, we'll move on. Still on Saturday. This is just a wild football day of bowl games. 68 Ventures Bowl. That's in Mobile.
It is.
It's in Mobile. This is going to be good. I think I should be there. Eastern Michigan versus South Alabama. I'll have to reach out and see if I can still get some media credentials.
Which is basically
Go
a
ahead.
home game for USA.
Yeah, it basically is. And if you haven't seen their new stadium that the University of South Alabama is playing in now, they finally got one on campus for years. There's a stadium in Mobile, Alabama. It's called Ladd Peebles Stadium, and it's really iconic, but
That's where the Senior Bowl is?
that's where it used to
Used to
be
be.
forever. But now they do everything at University of South Alabama's new stadium. I don't know the official name of it, but it's really, really nice. They do Senior Bowl there, and that's where this 68 Ventures Bowl is going to be, and it's going to be a matchup between Eastern Michigan and South Alabama. I'm going to go south. I'm going to go south
I
for that
agree.
one.
I agree.
Las Vegas Bowl. Northwestern and Utah. I'm going Utah. Give
Crazy
me the
thing,
Utes.
I think so too, but Northwestern fired Pat Fitzgerald. They thought their season was going to be in shambles, and they ended up with a winning record and got to a bowl game. That's pretty impressive for them.
It is pretty impressive and gave them something to play for. Anytime you go through adversity, I think it just empowers those athletes even more. So,
Agreed.
so who are you picking then?
I'm still going with the Utes.
He just wanted to throw out some stats.
I did,
Okay.
but yes, but I still think Utah's going to win.
And the last one looking at Saturday's bowl game is the Hawaii Bowl. San Jose State and Coastal Carolina. I'm going Coastal Carolina, even though this one is in Honolulu, which I would love to be at that game
Me
as
too.
well.
I'll take San Jose State.
You'll take, all right.
I'll take
So then this is all going to feed into the bowling match that we'll have later on this year, too. We'll put points on who was right. Because we're keeping
absolutely.
tabs now that it's live. Again, this is Tiger Talk. It's myself, Kate Thomas, on ESPN Pensacola. We've got Greg Heck. He's the bar manager and really an all-time pro bowler. Seriously, he is. We joke about it, but he is that good. He can probably teach you and tell you everything you need to know about bowling. But Greg Heck, Tiger Talk, we love it. It's an LSU show, but college football. We'll talk some Saints as well. If you have any questions, if you want to join in, give us a call, 850-623-1330, or catch us on our video live stream on Facebook at ESPN Pensacola or on YouTube, ESPN Pensacola 1330. We'll be right back after these messages.
To have a striking good time, there's nothing better than Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Now Shooter Sports Bar is open after a total remodel, plus Mama Oni's Grill serving up great food like house-made pizza and so much more. Cordova Lanes selling fun for the entire family for over 44 years. They're open 7 days a week with the only automatic bumpers in town, helping keep your mind out of the gutter. From 3 to 93 years old, Cordova Lanes is the place for birthday parties, group activities, and more. Cordova Lanes Bowling Center.
Honesty is our policy. That's the slogan at Bobby Likas Auto Service, and for good reason. They are the premium auto service center in town. No matter what kind of vehicle you drive, Mercedes or pickup truck, Lexus or Chevy, Bobby Likas Auto Service needs to be your first choice for service and repairs. Folks, for maintenance and repairs on your car, I trust Bobby Likas Auto Service on Davis Highway and at carclinicservice.com.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our quinces. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit. And make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
ESPN Pensacola is giving away a signed Chris Wenke jersey, and you could be the lucky winner. Here's how. Simply download the ESPN Pensacola app, register on the app, then click the banner at the top to enter to win. It's that easy. And now that you're registered, you can win other tickets and prizes from ESPN Pensacola's app. So download the app, register, and enter to win the drawing for this one-of-a-kind signed Chris Wenke jersey. Don't miss out. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
College football playoffs, the NFL, FSU basketball, and more live here on ESPN Pensacola.
Welcome back into Tiger Talk. Tiger Talk is presented to you by Cordova Lanes. Cordova Lanes is the place of fun. Right now, we're joined still by Greg Heck, bar manager of Shooters Sports Bar. We also have John Spurdy, LSU alumni chapter president of the Panhandle Bayou Bengals. Nice to have both of you in.
Yes, I'm glad John could make it. It was nice of him to make an
I'm glad
appearance
he
today.
could make it too. Absolutely. John, so much to talk about. You said you were listening in while you were getting here. I'm trying to figure out one camera technical thing while I'm talking to you guys, but we were talking before you got here, John, all about bowl games, college bowl games. Tonight, the Gasparilla Bowl, that's going to be between Georgia Tech and UCF, and then there's a handful of games this Saturday of bowl games. Is there any particular ones that you've looked at for this weekend in college bowl games that you're really excited about?
Not really. Just to be honest with you,
That wasn't the best answer.
it is. I wasn't thinking when I said that, but I guess I should be excited. I don't know. It's almost like they've become so many and so typical, other than the playoff, and we're not in it. So I don't know. It just, to me, it's just there's so many teams. I mean, how many bowl games are there this year?
I just looked it up. 43.
43.
43.
That's a lot.
Yes, that is a lot. Look, I don't even know what to say when you say that many bowl games. That's too many. Why are there so many? It's just it's everything. It all boils down to the cash money. That's what it's always about. Again, if you're just tuning in, Tiger Talk presented to you by Cordova Lanes. You can watch us on a video live stream right now. You can go to Facebook at ESPN Pensacola or to our YouTube channel, ESPN Pensacola 1330. We'll do trivia here a little later, but just join us, call us, tell us what bowl games you're excited about. We'll get into some LSU football talk, more college football talk, maybe even a little bit of Saints. 850-623-1330. One thing that's been interesting to see this season, we'll go to LSU. Before we get into football, I want to talk some women's basketball. Kim Mulkey, Angel Reese. It just seems like if you're in Baton Rouge and you're reading one of their paper or anywhere in the state of Louisiana, or if you just follow the Tigers in general, every day I just read another story about either Kim Mulkey or Angel Reese or maybe something else going on with LSU women's basketball. What's happening?
Well, the latest thing was they had to restrain.
Yeah, Angel Reese had to restrain Kim Mulkey because she was so upset with the officials on the court.
I think Kim Mulkey just knows how to fire people up, and when you need to throw gas on the fire to get everybody going, I think she can pull that off. She's done that in her history. She's not putting up with anything. She's a seasoned pro.
Very passionate
at what she does. Very passionate. Wearing those jackets, and you can say what you want. I mean, if there's a prime time in women's sports, Kim Mulkey's got to be in the top 4 or 5, because sure. and there's just a lot of show, and I think it brings people in. Several years ago, was the first time I went to a gymnastics event in Baton Rouge.
Oh my gosh!
And I mean, I was almost emotional when I walked in there, and I don't make a big deal out of it, but you walked in. If you haven't seen gymnastics, and we had Dee
Dee Bro.
Dee Dee Bro had come and talked to us.
She really started the fashionable jackets for women's.
She came into our alumni summit. She talked to us. We had the president of LSU, the new president. We had Dee Dee Bro, and then we had Kim Mulkey all talk to us on the same day, and it was something because Dee Dee Bro said she never won a national championship. She came in second a bunch of times, and they lost by 25 hundredths of a point. Said the girls were devastated and crying after the game. She goes, "You didn't lose anything. I mean, you lose by 24 hundredths of, you might as well be co-champion.
Absolutely.
You can't take that like it was a loss." But she said that she used to come into the PMAC and see that big black curtain to cover all the empty seats in the corner.
Right.
And she dreamed of the day when there would be people in those seats. And we went there. It was like 14,000 people. They were doing Auburn, and it was such a unique experience. The only place I've ever seen LSU people really surge with pom-poms. We don't do pom-poms. You got a hand for your girlfriend, hand for your drink.
Right.
So
thank goodness
it doesn't work out. You need a third hand for
the
the pom-pom. Yeah.
I don't want to be a pom-pom school.
Yeah, exactly. And you get beat up with them when you go to other stadiums, too.
The Crimson Tide is a pom-pom school. The Auburn Tigers are a pom-pom school.
Yeah, but anyway, she went down to New Orleans and said, "What can we do?" And actually, the people from pro wrestling said, "You got to get some flamethrowers shooting up like at the football games," and they started doing that. And you watch just the opening. I mean, I got goosebumps. We sat in a special area and right where they were doing, and all this stuff moves around. The only thing complicated about gymnastics to me, because I had never been to a live match, was that the math is tough, if you're not a good mathematician, because they're doing
this point,
nothing comes together till right at the end. Everybody's going like, "Oh, we're way ahead." And I go like, "I don't see it. It's not on the board. It isn't like there's a score." But it was really a good, and little kids coming with their parents.
They love it. Holding
and
up
they were,
signs
you can see these little girls, especially,
There may be a couple of pom-poms at gymnastics, a few.
Yeah, oh yeah. There was a lot of little kids carrying them, but it was a family event. it was really nice to see. And she said she was so thrilled when she saw that. And now, women that are bringing in 15,000, 13,000 for a game. So it's doable. Some of these sports. I mean, I'm waiting for the big. I want 10,000 people at the beach volleyball.
I think it'll get there, and LSU always usually has a pretty good beach volleyball team.
Yes,
honestly.
they're in the top 10 every year. I don't know how they pull that off because I don't know any really popular beaches where they play a lot of volleyball.
Well, there's a
Grand
few,
Isle or something.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know if they're going down to Grand Isle. There's a few places. Beach volleyball, as I guess when just I don't want to say regular people. We're all regular people,
Right.
but when I guess not true athletes playing for some university or something, they go play. You know,
Right.
like how they do kickball here. They do that with beach volleyball in Louisiana and in Baton Rouge. So they have several bars and places that have multiple courts. I don't know if they're practicing there, but look, LSU has all the amenities. They're not slacking on any athletic amenities, really. And if anything, they just continue to improve each sport and their amenities year after year after year. You've got to in order to keep
Right,
up.
or you're not going to get the people you want in.
That's
or
right.
The athletes, I
That's
should
right.
say.
But if you are just tuning in again, this is Tiger Talk. John, I want to touch back on the gymnastics because I used to work for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Dee Dee Bro was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame while I was there, and Kim Mulkey had been previously inducted, so I had the chance to work with both of them, and covered LSU gymnastics for a long time too. And it's interesting because they've got all the different setups with the beam, the floor routine one, all the different things that they have. But they get a packed house, and because I've worked in a lot of different areas with a lot of different jobs, at one point I was working with the staff that would put together the whole vision for the gymnastics meet and how they were going to, or were they going to get the flamethrowers and how are they going to make it more exciting? And she told me that Dee Dee Bro, they would have these meetings, brainstorm meetings. How are they going to do this? How, attract the fans, make it exciting, all you can get. She said Dee Dee Bro would walk in there and she would have a whole entire folder of ideas and they would be like the most just biggest, grandest ideas. But she said she started doing that and the ideas would always get larger and larger and they would, be tested. Like, can we really actually pull this off? Is it possible? But she, made it exciting and fun and made it this family and kid friendly event and really put LSU gymnastics where it is today. Fantastic job. And fantastic lady, Dee Dee Bro, and Kim Mulkey, honestly.
Yeah, their facilities. We had a tour of the facilities a couple times with the alumni, and we have our summit. And I'm telling you, the facilities are just unbelievable. They have a room where they get together, meeting, and they have all these little things where they put this in a jar, and everybody has to put so many. There's all these things going on where they keep them busy. And she just talked about the girls and how emotional they are about their sport and how important it is to them and what she has to nurture that. But it was like the facilities are practically brand new. I think they're 5 or 6 years old maybe. And she said the Olympics people come there and work out. It's a really good facility. And we were way behind. I mean, it was almost like what baseball did. Baseball, we came in, we were 20 years behind everybody in baseball. And Skip Bertman was the savior, and that's basically what gymnastics has done because Florida, Alabama's
got a great
great teams,
team.
And Auburn had an Olympic star.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
here's one of the best things about it is it's the only sport I know of where there's a large arena and people treat it like a golf match. Because unless it's an international, Ryder Cup or something, everybody's like, they're applauding for good play.
Right.
They don't boo anybody or yell at
Right.
them, and that's what the Olympics was. When Auburn got up there and did stuff, there was never any booing when they came out on the field. They applauded for them. They weren't as loud as they were for our people, the LSU girls.
Right.
But it was kind of neat to see that. Everybody was just they wanted to beat you at your best. I think that's real competition.
It is real competition. Again, Tiger Talk right now. If you're just tuning in on ESPN Pensacola, we've got John Spurney, LSU alumni, chapter president of the Panhandle Bayou Bengals, Greg Heck, all-time Pro Bowler, also bar manager and enthusiast at Shooter Sports Bar inside of Cordova Lanes, which is the place of fun. I'm Kate Thomas. You bring up a couple of points that I kind of want to dive into. So, yes, golf, you're not supposed to boo or anything. Now, there's some somewhere in Europe or wherever where they just get crazy with golf. And
It's actually the Waste Management Open in
that's what it is.
Arizona.
Yes,
every year they let them.
They just
do
go
whatever
wild.
They want to,
just go. It looks like a lot of fun.
It does. It's usually right around Super Bowl weekend that time of year. So.
Which one? I think you got. It depends on who's in it. Right?
Exactly.
Like, all right. Well, this is the thing I plan to go to. Bucket list. 2 bucket list items right there.
It just looks like a great time.
It does. It does. But what I'm trying to get to is I think that the world of sports has changed. It's changed with college student athletes with the NIL. They're famous. I mean, these kids are celebrities now. They now all have to take online classes, because they're so famous and all this. But what it brings me to is Livy Dunn, the famous gymnast for the LSU Tigers, got famous off TikTok, whatever. But she now has to have security at games, and she almost got harassed by this whole mob of people at one of their meets. And hopefully that's not where these sports are going, where we lose that. Obviously we want fans to have passion, but just be respectful still of everyone, and even if it is your favorite. And you see it across all sports in the NFL, and just fans have been a little more outrageous here than lately. Am I the only one that thinks that? I don't know.
No, it is. That fame. I mean, I lived on the West Coast for 15 years in Los Angeles area, and you'd go out in town and you'd see people everywhere. I'd be at a grocery store, and McLean Stevenson was behind me with groceries, just kind of got his dark glasses on. You just go like, wow, fame and fortune. But man, they're being followed around by everybody, and God help you if you're controversial. If you say something about somebody, they're going to blow it up, and that's what their job is, to follow around and harass you, maybe get another picture or something. So, there's a famous, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a famous LSU baseball player who became a stunt man, and if he's out there listening, he knows who he is. He's been here before. And when he went to LSU, he had graduated from LSU, and
Can
he.
This be our trivia question?
It could be, and when he was actually, the trivia question would be, who was the first player to participate in a World Series for the LSU Tigers? And I believe it was. I don't know the exact date. I think it was 1984, but when Skip Bertman first got there, and he went up to the he was the first batter, and he struck out. He said it was devastating. He walked back. Skip Bertman put his arm around him, took him back to the dugout. And he said, I don't remember what he said, but I felt like my dad was holding me or something. It was such an emotional thing. But anyway, he's a great guy. He's done some fundraising for us here in Pensacola at Crawfish Bowl. And he talked about that, when he graduated from LSU, he was also in the movie Everybody's All American. It's another hint. He was a double for Dennis Quaid.
I may know.
He was not the first LSU baseball player, though, to play.
Okay,
in the
wait.
Series.
I don't
He
know
wasn't?
if my.
No.
Is this a trivia question? We're turning this into a trivia question.
Really? What year was it?
1954.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll do.
Wow, I didn't even know they had a World Series back then.
They had World Series in early 1900s.
Okay, call in, contestants. Give us your thoughts. I want to hear from you. 850-623-1330. I want to hear, one, do you know this trivia journey we're going down with? Where is the question now? Because John asked one, and then Greg corrected him. But we have a question for you.
I wasn't aware of that.
A gift
You
certificate
can go with
to
that
Cordova
question. Who's
Lanes.
the first LSU baseball player to play in the World Series?
First
I have the
LSU
answer
baseball
right here.
player to participate in the World Series. You can win a gift certificate to Cordova Lanes, where you can use anywhere inside of Cordova Lanes, whether it's to bowl, inside of Shooter Sports Bar, to eat at Mama Ani's Grill. I'm sure they'll throw in a couple of other things in there. But who was the first ever baseball player? So the first one that went up to bat for LSU that participated in a World Series.
Major League World Series.
So
that's what you said.
No.
And
you said the College
World Series, yeah.
Okay, that's different.
They're having their side debate. I think they figured it out.
He played football, too.
Look, we're going to debate this. Think about this question. Give us a call, 850-623-1330. Again, 850-623-1330.
That's a good one, because that could be a follow-up.
Right here. Tiger Talk on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
To have a striking good time, there's nothing better than Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Now Shooter Sports Bar is open after a total remodel, plus Mama Oni's Grill serving up great food like house-made pizza and so much more. Cordova Lanes selling fun for the entire family for over 44 years. They're open 7 days a week with the only automatic bumpers in town, helping keep your mind out of the gutter. From 3 to 93 years old, Cordova Lanes is the place for birthday parties, group activities, and more. Cordova Lanes Bowling Center.
When you're in the first ever Toyota Grand Highlander, every moment's grander. Even that moment when picking up Junior from football practice turns into taking the whole team home.
Dad, is it cool if we give Devon a ride home?
Sure.
JB, let's go. Word, man?
Go ahead and tell us.
So that all named Devon.
With 3 spacious rows of premium adult-sized seating, life's grander in the first ever Grand Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey everyone. Let's all stop what we're doing right now and take a moment. That felt good, huh? Just like that, we had a nice special sort of moment together. Of course, they don't all need to be quiet moments to be special. They could be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. Sounds like somebody agrees. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Today, call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hello?
Man, where are you? I thought you were coming.
I can't. I'm in bed with the flu.
The flu? Whoa. Grandma's about to crowd surf. Man, I'll call you back.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is safe, effective, and you can get it at the same time as your COVID-19 vaccine. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Green 18! On Christmas Day, it's an NFL tripleheader. As the Raiders face the Chiefs, the Giants tangle with the Eagles, followed by the Ravens clashing with the 49ers on ESPN Pensacola.
Welcome back in. Tiger Talk, presented to you by Cordova Lanes. Cordova Lanes, the place of fun. I'm your host, Kate Thomas. So thank you for joining me today. Look, I'm going to even work the cameras. I'm producing all kind of things while I'm over here. But yes, Tiger Talk. We're live. We are live, you guys. So get excited. I'm going to introduce our guest here just a second. Give me a moment to get it all worked out. All right. Greg Heck, Shooter Sports Bar manager, all-time Pro Bowler, seriously. And then also we have John Spurney, LSU alumni, president of the Panhandle Bayou Bengals. All right, guys, you're live on camera. Y'all are having a lot of off-air conversations with great information. So now tell me the story, John. You were in the midst of telling me a story off air. I was doing some technical things. I'm ready to hear it. And we might just spoil the trivia question and come up with another, because this is a good story.
Well, I just wanted to, you were talking about people in fame and how it changes people, which we all know that happens. I only know because I see it. You know, that's never happened to me. Everybody say, well, I wish it would happen. I wish I'd make a few $1 million, you know, and have all those problems. But some people just don't like it. Some people just go away in the business. In Hollywood, there's people that just retire. Who is it that plays, I think it's Gabe Kaplan or something like that. One of those guys, he plays professional poker now, He just dropped out the whole scene, said, okay, I made enough money, and he really enjoys it, and he's making money at it, but it's like he just really enjoyed it, and he said he had a knack for it. But the baseball player at LSU, and I'm repeating his story, and I hope he doesn't, get on my case or something. He's a really great guy, and he's at LSU, and he was in the movie Dennis Quaid's Double. In the movie Everybody's All-American. In fact, he got an MVP trophy from John Goodman and Dennis Quaid. It was a picture of it standing in the because he was hitting people full speed because he played high school football, but he hadn't played in pads since then. And he went to Gulf Coast Community College, transferred to LSU for his last 2 years, and he was around all those guys the early Bertman years when everybody. It was like, you have a profit with your program. I mean, stuff that he instilled in those players, man. I mean, I've never seen a coach that I've met that could inspire people. And just he could talk to you in a conversation at one of our meetings with the alumni, and after you got to him talking, he says, I know why they won all those games. I mean, you just have a conversation with him. He just has a knack for it. He was definitely a guru and put LSU on the map baseball forever,
Forever.
But
That's why they now have a statue of him. And he
incredible
has
guy.
been involved even, after he was retired, still stayed so involved with the community.
He was AD too when
Nick Saban was coach. I heard a little they didn't get along, I don't think too well.
No, there were
Saban
some
and
tough
Bertman.
moments, but I think mutual respect and
Mutual respect, absolutely.
But he pulled LSU together back then because we had the AD left, and there wasn't anybody to really fill it. And there was a lot of controversy about bringing Paul Dietzel back. There was all these people. There was a lot of politics, as you know, in South Louisiana.
Always.
So everybody had their favorite son. But a guy that won 5 national championships in 10 years, it's like John Wooden in basketball, or something. And anyway, but he brought it all together because everyone, he must know what he's doing. I mean, and he did. He did a great job. We had a lot
He
of
put our baseball team on the map. So
exactly,
he did
and
something.
a lot of our programs really surged because we had in the '90s was our blue period. I like to call it. Like Picasso had his blue era where he just was kind of depressed. Not in the '90s, we lost more games than we won in football. If it wouldn't have been for Shaquille O'Neal and the basketball team, which I think really kind of for most of us, we felt like they underachieved. We really never won big like we thought. When we had we called them the baby Lakers. We had 2 7-footers, Stanley Roberts, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Jackson. I mean, you had some people on that team that could score 30, 40 points.
You did, and Coach Brown, what he was able to inspire, Shaq and turn him into was absolutely incredible to see as well.
Yeah, and just all the Hall of Fame in those era though. In those '90s, there were a lot of Hall of Fame coaches like what was the women's basketball coach Sue Gunter. They're all in the Hall of Fame at LSU. They're in the basketball Hall of Fame. These people were achieving things. You had Dale Brown. You had Jerry Simmons was a tennis coach. They went to the final.
He is great. I've met him. He was in one of the Hall of Fames that I was doing. He's one of the nicest guys.
Yeah, he
loves tennis.
He was unbelievable. He passed away a few years ago, unfortunately, but he was in Texas. But he was a real football fan too. I used to talk to him a lot all the time. I think I was the only I talked to anybody, but I was the only one that would talk to him on the phone as long as we would kind of have binges on it, just talking about sports. Really great guy. Miss him.
Rest in peace. Seriously, I had to just take a second there
but-
because I did not know that. And he will talk to you. He will
Yeah.
talk to you for as long as you want.
He had
Absolutely.
Somebody should do. Chris Warner wrote a book about his experience at LSU, but somebody should do a movie on him. He came from Amarillo, Texas, where is the home for wrestling. I didn't know this. Dusty Rhodes, the Funk Brothers, all these people.
Really?
That's where they all came from. I mean, you're out in the desert, the wind's blowing, there's tumbleweed. Let's go wrestle. It's like, and he went to West Texas, which is now West Texas A&M. West Texas had, when he was there, Dwayne Thomas and what was it? Mercury Morris were the running backs at Western. I mean, and they had this legendary coach there, Joe Kerbel. It's a long story, but I mean, there should be a movie on this. It would be so cool because Amarillo, Texas, is in the panhandle of Texas. I don't know if you've been through there. I had a Volkswagen driving up. We're driving to Denver, me and a friend, and I remember having the wheel turned like 90 degrees, holding it, and the wind was blowing so hard we were going straight because it was just like, went like, whoa, I don't even know if I want to, and you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's like something happens. Yeah, it might blow your car away or something, but it was like some serious weather.
It's different over there. So this is I have a lot of friends that live in Texas, really in the 3 big cities, Houston, Dallas, and Austin. My 3 best friends all over there. But my experience really more so with Texas and driving through is when we drove from San Diego, California, all the way down to Mobile, Alabama, and driving through Texas, that long haul where there is nothing.
Nothing.
There is nothing. It's
When
like it's like days of just.
When you're driving that way and
Nothing.
you get to San Antone, and then you go through San Antone, and then there's a big sign that says El Paso 575 miles. You're going like, whoa, that's like.
Yes.
It's that far. You're halfway through Texas then to get to El Paso. And between there, there's like places where the radio doesn't.
It doesn't work, and you're trying to catch the game, and you have no service. The radio doesn't work. You can't catch the game. That was my biggest thing that I got annoyed with driving through Texas on that long haul. Was I was trying to listen to, I think, the Penguins and the hockey game, and we're trying to catch it. It's just like in and out, and I was so angry, and already when you're in a car for that long, you start to get a little testy carrying your whole life back to the South. I was already sad leaving beautiful Southern California.
I've heard nothing but good things about San Diego. What a wonderful city
it's just great.
I actually drove. Actually, I came back in the mid '80s to help a friend of mine in his house in Sunset, Louisiana, which is north of. I lived there for 4 months, getting his house in the dry, which everybody down here knows what that means, because you can't really work on everything till you get everything sealed on the outside, because it's going to rain, South Louisiana. And I remember I drove a '68 Volkswagen bus that I just had it was like a fantasy to own one. It was kind of a mistake. It all ended up, but I bought it and I drove it from California to Sunset, and on the way back though, I stopped in El Paso, and I was just sleeping at rest stops. I drove a lot of miles, and it was like the thing could peak out at about 70 maybe, and it was like she was shaking all over like a plane. And I remember I got up one morning in El Paso.
Sounds scary.
And the rest stop, and I went on, and all of a sudden I'm out in the middle of nowhere. It's completely flat, and it shows Continental Divide. I go like, where's the mountain? I thought that was a mountain thing. And so you're going along, and pretty soon, I swear, it was an Air Force jet that went over the top of me. I don't know how low he was, but it scared the crap out of me because I'm drinking coffee. I spilled stuff in the truck. The guy was probably messing with me. He said, I was probably like a hippie or something in that van. Watch him. He just got up.
He was probably
and
one.
You see the jet down close to you before you hear it, and it just everything rattles, and it woke me up. It was better than the coffee that morning, but it's quite an experience. If anybody hasn't driven across this country, it's really something.
I need to drive more around it, maybe in a motorcycle. We'll talk more about driving around the country, football, LSU, all kind of things. Join in on the conversation, 850-623-1330. We'll be right back after these messages.
To have a striking good time, there's nothing better than Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Now Shooter Sports Bar is open after a total remodel, plus Mama Oni's Grill serving up great food like house-made pizza and so much more. Cordova Lanes selling fun for the entire family for over 44 years. They're open 7 days a week with the only automatic bumpers in town, helping keep your mind out of the gutter. From 3 to 93 years old, Cordova Lanes is the place for birthday parties, group activities, and more. Cordova Lanes Bowling Center.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? You know, the gift that people call the hottest of the season? You know, you buy it for your loved ones, and you're anointed the hero of the holidays. Well, heroes, here's this year's hot present tip. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because Skechers has invented footwear that is so easy and so comfortable, they're the perfect gift for everyone, from kids to grandparents. With hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. You don't need to bend down. You don't ever have to touch your shoes. Find hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
You already know Prize Picks is the most fun you'll have this football season. But now you can play during basketball season too. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on the projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Visit prizepicks.com/playnow and use code PLAYNOW. That's code PLAYNOW at prizepicks.com/playnow. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Look through your children's eyes, and you'll see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. When they discover the forest, their imagination is inspired by the smell of pine, the crunch of leaves beneath their feet, the sound of birds calling out for attention. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating forest world. You are the hero in this book. This is a memory being made. This is what they will laugh about years from now. These are the roots, grounding and nourishing them.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Then look through your children's eyes and discover the magic all around you. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The next time you rearrange that messy closet, why not set aside time to put your financial house in order as well? There are steps that can save you money and prevent hassles in the future. Make sure your credit report is accurate. Clean up bad credit by paying bills on time and paying down balances. And dispose of all unnecessary documents by shredding them. For more tips, call the National Foundation for Credit Counseling today at 800-388-2227 or visit them at nfcc.org, a public service from the NFCC.
Calling all sports fanatics in Pensacola. Brace yourselves for the ultimate sports talk experience. Tune in to Greeny with Mike Greenberg, exclusively on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Weekdays from 9 to 11, Greeny brings you the most insightful analysis from the NFL to the NBA, Major League Baseball to college sports. Greeny dives deep into the stories that matter most with his unique perspective and unparalleled passion. He keeps you hooked from start to finish. Tune in to Greeny on ESPN Pensacola and fuel your sports obsession. It's a home run of a show. Tune into the Sports Drive with Kate Thomas, weekday mornings at 7:30 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Welcome back in to Tiger Talk. Tiger Talk presented to you by Cordova Lanes, the place of fun. We've got some trivia questions for you. You can win a gift certificate to Cordova Lanes that you can use anywhere inside of Cordova Lanes. So I'm going to give you the trivia question, and we are doing a live stream right now, live video stream on both YouTube and Facebook. ESPN Pensacola on Facebook. YouTube is ESPN Pensacola 1330. This is the trivia question I have for you. You win a gift certificate to Cordova Lanes. You can use it anywhere inside Shooter Sports Bar, Mama Ani's Grill, Cordova Lanes, and play bowling with you and your family, cornhole, and everything. This is it. Which LSU basketball player won the Namath College Player of the Year award in 2006, leading the Tigers to the Final Four of the NCAA tournament that same year? I'm not even going to, I was going to make it multiple choice. I'm not. So call in for a chance to win. Which LSU basketball player won the Namath College Player of the Year award in 2006, led the Tigers to the Final Four of the tournament that same year in 2006? 850-623-1330. You can text in with your answer as well, or you can join in on the live video chat and give your answer. So want to hear from you. 850-623-1330. I've got John waving at me. John, let's talk. What do you got for me?
Was that you saying 2006?
It said 2006.
Okay. So
But
that would be the.
Are you going to answer it?
No, I was just thinking of the players we had back then, because that was.
What should I give the multiple choice? I'll give the multiple choice.
That was the year that the women and the men both went to the Final Four, I believe.
So
during that era. Here
are your multiple choice answers. Chris Jackson, Glenn Davis, Shaquille O'Neal, Muhammad Abdul Rauf,
which is Chris Jackson.
Yeah,
Chris Jackson changed.
And this is how ChatGPT works in a pinch. But A, B, C, or D. But who is it out of those four? Which LSU basketball player won the Namath's College Player of the Year award in 2006? Also took the Tigers to the Final Four of the NCAA tournament that same year. Let me know. 850-623-1330. You can also chime in on the chat. I'm looking at you on the chat if you want to join in. So let me know. I gave you a multiple choice. Chris Jackson, Shaquille O'Neal, Glenn Davis, or also Chris Jackson, Muhammad Abdul Rauf. All right, we've got about 8 minutes left. So is John Spurney? I can see his head. He's thinking.
Trying to think. Yeah, because that was we ran from the 90s. That was Shaquille O'Neal. I'm trying to think of the players.
And it may not be the most obvious choice. So gift certificate to Cordova Lanes. Give us your best guess. I made it multiple choice. 850-623-1330. You can also text that same number, 623-1330. You can call 623-1330.
The conversation we were having off air, though, was
go there.
LSU offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock. He officially went back to Notre Dame to be their offensive coordinator.
He's committed?
Yes.
Okay, because he was up for an extension. They were trying to get him to sign for a couple weeks now.
Looks like he really wanted to go back, so it's official that he's going back there.
So that's a big deal, I think. I mean, as much as anything, because the reason why the quarterbacks were interested was the scheme that LSU's running. Obviously, our most experienced quarterback is not a running quarterback, but he's got a rocket arm, so they're going to have to make some changes on the offense. So I'm just curious about who we're going to get as an offensive coordinator. And Alabama just they just hired a former Michigan coach,
linebackers coach.
Yes. So it's interesting how success can mean that you lose people. Not only to the NFL, but coaches are going to get offers, and that's their goal. So it's tough.
It is. Well, I think we need a new offense. We definitely need a new defensive coordinator. So
I was waiting for you to mention.
That. That's they better. Are they holding out for someone really special? Please give me Dave Aranda, bring him back, and then bring me who would you want as a new offensive coordinator? Is there anybody that comes to mind? I'll take Jimbo Fisher as my offensive coordinator. I'm not kidding.
I think he's going to take a year off.
Oh, man.
He's going to go
on his island. He doesn't want to coach and be back in Baton Rouge
he's
another
going to
year.
spend his $76 million.
Yeah, he's got some books.
Just enjoy his
life. He has to check his books out for about a year, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be.
Let's bring Coach O back as the defensive coordinator. We'll have Pete Jenkins as the analyst on defense. For offense, we'll bring back Nick Saban as our offensive coordinator, and for head coach, we'll bring back Paul Dietz.
Oh my gosh!
It wouldn't even happen. There we go.
That's almost like this starting to get like a Saints conversation with Buddy D back in the day when people would call in. If you fire everybody on the sidelines, then we'd probably win next year or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys keep saying
when Les Miles was there, I think they could have definitely just got rid of him. I would have gone down on the field and made some play calls in different scenarios for sure. Well, he was truly the Mad Hatter.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
But go ahead, Craig.
What I was going to say is you guys have said all year what a great atmosphere LSU, a football game would be. I went to the Saints-Giants game last Sunday, and what a great time I had. The atmosphere outside the stadium was incredible. I didn't actually want to leave, and decided next time I'm going to be there even earlier because I had such a great time. So I'm hoping that when I get to go to a game next year, it's that good, if not a better experience. And that's what you guys make it out to be for sure.
It is, and that's just a little glimpse of the Saints, which is they're two different experiences and both great and wonderful experiences. And that's when the Saints were looking great. So you should have went out to SoFi Stadium so we could have got a win last night. He just couldn't do it.
I couldn't do
Was
it.
that your first? It wasn't your first Saints game, was it?
No, it was not my first
Saints
game.
Okay, but was it the first one you've been to in a while?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they've changed things around. Inside the Superdome, it's now Caesars Superdome.
Yes.
Personally, I don't think it's as classy as the Mercedes-Benz, but I guess that had to go to the Falcons, of course, our nemesis. But
well, it's once again who gave them the most money. It's all naming rights. That's why that happened. But Champion Square was amazing.
Amazing.
It was great. I loved every minute of it.
There's nothing like New Orleans. So did y'all? How long were you in New Orleans total?
Just a quick there and back trip.
Back.
Close enough for that to happen. So.
And I want to say that same day they do caroling inside of Jackson Square, downtown New Orleans.
I would
it's
have
a
loved
whole
to
thing.
have gone to see that.
That same
yes.
night, you should have stayed a little longer and attend. I mean, the whole city. It's really just everybody. I think lights a can. It's really quite something to see everybody join together for Christmas like that. Any games you guys are looking forward to for Christmas? Any other LSU talk? Again, we still have a trivia question. LSU basketball, who won the Namus Award in 2006 for LSU basketball, also took that team to the Final Four in 2006. I've got a multiple choice. You can win a gift certificate. 850-623-1330. John.
I don't know. I'd have to look back. I would probably guess.
Oh, he's going to guess it.
Because of the span of years you have, I think Shaquille was gone by 2006. And Chris Jackson was probably gone also because he was ahead of Shaquille before Shaquille got there. I mean, or in that era.
So if you guess it right,
I
are you
think
trying to
Big
get the
Baby.
gift certificate?
Yeah.
He's picking Big Baby.
Yeah, but I'm not. I wouldn't bet anything on it.
Okay, well, now I want to hear
the time frame.
I want to hear from Greg, and we're short on time. So, do you want me to give you the?
No, that's my pick as well.
Big Baby?
Yes.
Congratulations, you are now the winner of a gift certificate to Cordova Lanes. No,
right.
Seriously, anyone who has came out to Cordova Lanes and who has participated and won the gift certificate, nothing but great things. Literally, go check it out. I love going there. I'm going to go there and bowl. I've got to get my practice in because Greg and I are going to bowl here soon.
Yes.
But Tiger Talk, I'm not sure, is this our last show? If we might have one more before the new year.
Week, yes.
Next week, our last show. So join in on the trivia conversation and go follow LSU Alumni Chapter of the Panhandle Bayou Bengals on Facebook. Go give them a follow so you can keep on what's going on. Go give Cordova Lanes a follow on their social media. What's you guys handle? Do you know?
Cordova Lanes.
Cordova Lanes to find out about more about everything they have going on there, and ESPN Pensacola for us. Thank you so much. Happy holiday. We won't be here in studio on Monday. I just found out, so I guess I will have the one day off for Jocks. It's Christmas Day. I'm excited about it. Thanks for joining us for Tiger Talk and watching the stream. Share the stream. Subscribe. Hit the share button. I don't know what they all say these days, but do all of those things. It's been a really fun time, guys, and I really hope that you have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry
both
Christmas,
of you.
everybody.
Very, very Merry Christmas to all. We still have a little bit of time. But, again, next Friday, 10 a.m., we'll be able to talk a lot more bowl talk.
Greg.
Yes.
Would it be okay for, I know you have a big league on Wednesday nights, right? Big league there. Somebody just showed up that wanted to bowl and had some experience or as a
10-second answer, Greg.
We'd have to get it. You'd have to come in and experience it for the first time.
You got to come in and experience it for the first time.
I was telling you about the guy
for joining us right here on Tiger Talk on ESPN Pensacola.
You're listening